This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
The other day, I talked about Adam Kinzinger and some comments that he made on CNN, an interview where he said that Donald Trump he's going to tell his son he's the worst president in the history of the United States. Welcome, Adam. Thank you. We appreciate you finally coming around. And I got some pushback, quite a bit of pushback, actually, surprisingly, that people were saying, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but, oh, he's here now, give him a break, you need to be kinder to Adam Kinzinger, that at least he finally saw the light. And listen, I take criticism well. I ask for it. I encourage dissent here. I give my phone number and my email address every video. But I want to push back against the pushback. Because now we're seeing an effort, a concerted effort, a scrambling, panicked effort on the part of Republicans to try to box out Trump and end Trumpism in the party. After they allowed the fox into the proverbial henhouse, now it's like, oh shit, the fox is eating all the chickens. What are we going to do with this fox that we let in? It's like a bank teller opening a locked door to the bank to someone in a ski mask with a gun. And then, after they've made out with all the money, complaining, oh, what are we going to do? There's no more money in the bank. That's Adam Kinzinger. That is Liz Cheney. Great. I'm glad they're now two people trying to hold Donald Trump accountable. But where were you when you were 90.2% of the time voting for Donald Trump's agenda? Where were you? I'm going a little far afield here. I do have some articles I want to read from about this effort right now to hold Donald Trump accountable, to try to lessen his Svengali-like charms over the vast majority of voting Republicans. This first article is entitled, "Republican Leaders Are Holding Closed-Door Meetings to Question Trump's Power Over the Party," report says. And then the other is from the New York Times. Inside McConnell's campaign to take back the Senate and thwart Trump, Senator Mitch McConnell is working furiously to bring allies to Washington who will buck Donald J. Trump. It's not going according to plan. Again, what did you expect? It's not like it was a surprise that Donald Trump was this decent and patriotic figure who rose to power with promises to really, truly make America good. He didn't do that. He ran his campaign on racism and xenophobia and fear and personality. I saw it from the very beginning. You saw it from the very beginning. What is wrong with Mitch McConnell and Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney that they didn't see it? It's a question that must be asked. We can't just forget the 90% plus voting with Donald Trump and say, well, they're here now. Let's just forget the past. Reading from this Insider article, top Republicans are increasingly questioning former President Donald Trump's hold over the party in closed-door meetings, the Washington Post reported. They have been discussing his influence and fixation on what the Post described as personal grievances. The Post cited more than a dozen Republican leaders across the country, including Trump advisors, many of whom spoke with the publication anonymously because of concerns about retribution from Donald Trump. And that's what this boils down to, is cowardice, weakness. Their love of self-preservation over preservation of the republic. Because In another video today, I'm going to talk about comments made by AOC. Little spoiler alert. And finally, we have members of Congress coming out and saying, yeah, you know what? Maybe we won't have a democracy in about 10 years if Republicans get their way. The report comes out amid growing signs of divergence between Trump and some Republican leaders ahead of the midterm elections in November. Trump has remained fixated on his baseless claim that the 2020 election was stolen from him, and he has endorsed candidates who've backed that claim. But some Republicans want to distance the party from the election fraud narrative and focus on issues that they hope will draw votes from Republican-leaning independents, such as inflation or COVID-19 restrictions in schools. So they're still appealing to dum-dums. They're still appealing to fear, to my liberty. Don't make me wear a mask. According to the Post, Trump has reacted with fury and yelled at advisors who counseled him to not fixate on the 2020 election. Trump has long portrayed himself as the scourge of Republican elites and recently spoke out against Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who has blamed Trump for the Capitol riot. The New York Times reported over the weekend that McConnell was quietly waging a campaign to recruit candidates who would stand up to Trump. And as I often like to do, here's a statement from a Trump spokesman, Taylor Budowich. He told the Post that Trump had remade the party and that candidates he'd endorsed who could successfully articulate his agenda would win in November. Right, what agenda? Now to Mitch McConnell, who is an absolute disaster for this country. He is an obstructionist. He has probably done more damage to the United States than any other person save Donald Trump. And it's close. It's not a slam dunk that Trump is the worst. This New York Times article that I've already referenced, as Mr. Trump, it's one paragraph, and it's the very last sentence of the paragraph that is so important. As Mr. Trump works to retain his hold on the Republican Party, elevating a slate of friendly candidates in midterm elections, Mr. McConnell and his allies are quietly, desperately maneuvering to try to thwart him. The loose alliance, which was once thought of as the GOP establishment, for months has been engaged in a high-stakes candidate recruitment campaign full of phone calls, meetings, polling memos, and promises of millions of dollars. It's all aimed at recapturing the Senate majority. And then here is the sentence of which to take note. But the election also represents what could be Republicans' last chance to reverse the spread of Trumpism before it fully consumes their party. Boo-hoo. You did this. It's like someone who hosts one of those COVID parties and then ends up on a ventilator, and we're all supposed to, we feel really bad for you. You did this, Mitch McConnell. You reaped the benefits of the Trump presidency. 3 Supreme Court picks, 2 of which shouldn't have happened. You did this. I feel no sorrow, no sympathy for Republicans. Because while they're scrambling to rebuild their party, the country crumbles. We are still on the precipice of failure as a democracy. And now Republicans in the 11th hour are crying, oh no, it's our last chance to reverse the spread of Trumpism before it fully consumes our party. Pick your metaphor. A bank teller letting somebody in with a mask and a gun, fox in the hen house, Nazis in the country, whatever. My warning here the overarching theme of what I'm trying to get across is, I'm not saying save your emails, but certainly we need to more judiciously choose where our sympathies lie. And just because Adam Kinzinger is an opponent of Donald Trump doesn't make him my pal. It doesn't make him my ally. The same goes for Mitch McConnell. He is an enemy of progress. He is an opponent of the well-being of tens, if not hundreds of millions of Americans. So if you want to cry your tears for Mitch McConnell because he's now an opponent of Trump, you do your thing. My eyes will remain dry. As always, I invite your input. I would love to know what you think. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Absolutely, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I welcome your discourse. I welcome your pushback and your dissent. There's another way that you can yell at me, and that is on social media. I am at Dollemore on Twitter, on Instagram, just about everywhere. I also welcome your, your dissent there. I appreciate you guys. Listen, some days are more me venting than others. Today is one of those days. If you appreciate what I do, I would appreciate if you consider supporting my work, helping produce my work right here on the platform for as little as $1.99 a month, $2 a month. You can click the join button below this video, become a channel member, or you can click on over, clickety-click, over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.